Alright, so I wanted to go ahead and show you how to put in a joist system. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my roof plan here. And if I wanted to be picky, I could make a roof plan structural, but in fact I may just do that. Let's just right click on that. I'm going to duplicate that view, and then if I rename it, structural, oops. And let's go ahead, make sure we're in that view, go to VV for our visibility graphics, and we'll just go through and shift select everything, get rid of the check, and then turn our structural back on. Okay, so we can see those beams. And the next thing I want to do is I just want to put a joist system within here. And so if you go to structure, right, you can see that you have a beam system option, and you can left click on this and it will allow you to pick a beam type. So I'm just going to go to this pull down and make this a much smaller beam than those. I'll make them, how about S4 by 7 by 7, and you'll see that if you hover, it is showing you where it wants to put those beams. You can say justification center, so it starts from the center, obviously, or you could justify it beginning and end. It's doing a fixed distance. We can change that fixed distance to 4 feet, right? And then it goes to 4 feet. And then if you left click, it frames those in. So I could do the same thing for this. It just looks for girders, right? So if I go to a 3D structure view now, you can see that it has put that beam system in. And if I just do a crossing over there and filter out everything but the structural beam systems, whoops, okay, it'll then, you know, give me access to that beam system again, so I could change the fixed spacing to, say, 5 feet, right, and it'll update them, okay, or back to 4 feet. Or I could update the beam type, so I could come down and say, nah, I don't want it to be that, I want it to be a structural T, and it'll go in and say, okay, we'll make it a structural T. So that's pretty handy. Alright, I just wanted to show you that option. You can also put them in manually if you want to. One other thing I did want to show you is, let's go back to our roof plan structural. So we're just looking at, there's a thing called a beam join. So if you go to your modify ribbon, you'll see there's wall joins, and then above that is beam joins. And if you select that, it's going to give you an option to control how the corners of these beams attach to each other, which right now this one's offsetting that one, and there'd be a attachment that went from web to web. But if you wanted to miter them, you can left click on that and it will miter those, and you can actually lock that miter. So that works pretty well. It only shows you the ones that you have the ability to change. If you can't change them, it doesn't give you an option, and that's the only one that we can change. Alright, so after that, after this, we'll take a look at the underneath of the foundation. Alright.